Hi there, and welcome to the New York School of Design's Intro to Digital Design. My name is Vidal Cyperly Valencia, and I'm a fashion designer here in New York City. Now, the next thing that we want to talk about is symbols, because symbols are super useful for making a lot of design details very easy to utilize and a lot less time consuming. If you recall, we talked about this button symbol here, and so we're going to create our own symbol. And if you don't have the symbols window currently, you can go Window, Symbols, and it's going to pull up all of these symbols that maybe pre-exist or ones that you've already made before. So these are some examples of ones that I use pretty regularly, like the zipper pull. This is just a buttonhole, and then this is the button with the buttonhole. In terms of creating symbols, it's quite easy, as you would just basically take anything that you have drawn already, like let's say this button here, and you can just click plus, or you can drag it in the same way we did with the brushes. It's going to pop up this window. We're going to just name it button 2. And it's going to ask movie clip or graphic. That actually does not matter in this case. This only matters for if you're using Flash. We're going to click dynamic symbol, and we're just going to keep the registration the same. We're not going to really touch anything here. We're just going to click OK. And now that has turned this into my symbol. Now, if I wanted to take something and just like drop it, I can just drop this symbol now from my menu, like so. Or I can Command-C, Command-V, copy-paste, or I can click Option just to clone the object itself. You can just, for a demonstration, you could draw your own zipper pull. For the sake of time, I won't necessarily redraw the whole thing, but in terms of utilizing an image like this, you could redraw it. You can make changes to something like this, and then functionally, you would have something that could look like this in the end. Maybe you'd want to adjust some of the shape, or you'd want to make some changes to it, but then you would just do the same thing where you're selecting this, clicking plus, and then you're just going to say a new symbol, you're going to rename it, and there you go. So utilizing the symbols is super useful because you don't always want to have to redraw a zipper pull or a button, or you could do all types of things. You could create ties as symbols, or little knots, like if you're doing like things with tie belts or any number of things. But if you want to edit them, that is a little bit of another story, because when you make an edit to a symbol, you're actually making it to everywhere that it shows up. So in this case, I have this symbol here. If I double click on it with my selection tool, it's going to pop up this little window, and it's going to say, you're about to edit this symbol. Any edits to the symbol will be applied to all of its instances. Do you want to continue? We say, okay, full well knowing that this is the case, and we just make the changes that we want to. Let's say we don't want it to have a rim, and let's say we want it to be kind of like a strange oval shape, and we want the buttonholes to be over here, and lastly, we want it to be, I don't know, this orangey color. Now, once I click away, it's going to apply that to every single button or every single instance of that same button. And so this can be really useful, or it can be challenging, because this is a way in which you can get into trouble if you're making changes and you're catting something and the buttons don't look right. You would just want to make sure that you're making either a duplicate of your button or making a new one each time. That way you can have a different color for each. You could just remake it each time in the different colors. But if you are working in a single project and you decide you don't like the buttons you had in your sketches to start, you can make a universal change this way.